the Explicit Empress here, as you know, someone who enjoys traipsing through the dark, deep Shadowlands and doing all the deep self introspection that we need to do to evolve. Someone who has walked those trenches myself and still continues to do so. The benefits are endless. And so I wanted to share today just some ways that we can take these small steps to shift our ways of thinking. And this is for people who you feel like you're stuck in a cycle of chaos, or you feel like negative things just keep being attracted to you, or you just feel like you need a change and you don't know how to do that. And, going on a holiday to Europe is unaffordable. Okay, so there are small things that we can do to shift our way of thinking that become daily habits. So my Virgo stellium, I'm very much on daily habits and just making these small changes that will eventually find their way into our lives that help us change very small things that become larger. All right. And so I've just got a few tips today that I use and that I have had a lot of success with. So the first one is gratitude. And I know this sounds silly, and I know that spiritual people say it all the time and it comes around with the moon or whatever, but having gratitude really shifts your way of thinking. And so just making an effort, once a day, once a week, to sit down and just write down 3 things that you are grateful for. And if you're doing it on a daily basis, these can be silly if they need to be. I am grateful for coffee. I am grateful that I could wash my hair this morning. Or you can get deeper than that. I'm grateful to have this friend in my life, okay? But just taking note of being grateful really helps us be present in the everyday and stops us from being disappointed by trying to get to the future too fast or affected negatively by things that have already happened to us. The second thing is kindness. And this also sounds silly, okay? But if you are offered an opportunity to show kindness to someone, whether you're letting them in traffic, whether you're letting them in the supermarket line, whether, you can pick something up off the ground for someone who's dropped it, this is an opportunity to be kind to someone. And if you take that opportunity, then the energy that we are putting out into the universe is one of kindness, and that is what will be mirrored back to us. And even if you do not see that mirrored back in the same day, helping another person is a very fast way to feeling that little bit better about yourself, okay? Number 3, music. Especially if you are someone who is very emotionally attached and triggered to music. So this might seem like a weird one because I think a lot of people have a lot of attachment to the music that they listen to. But in a lot of cases, the music that we listen to and favor is directly attached to our teenage years. And the reason for that is that while we are going through puberty, our emotional state is very heightened. And so the music we listen to hits a little bit differently while our emotional state is in such heightened development and such heightened sensitivity. And so because of that, they get fused together in a way that is very different to listening to music in the other stages of your life. And you can think about this across a lot of things, okay? Like, the song that you listen to that comes up the first time you kiss the love of your life, okay? That song ingrained in your brain, all right? The song that you are listening to perhaps when you walk down the aisle, perhaps when you, meet your mum for the first time, okay? The heightened emotional state connects to the music in a very different way. And so when we are teenagers, this is a long period of time of heightened emotional state. So music hits differently. Now, having this is great for nostalgia, right? But if you are trying to end old patterns and trying to change cycles of negativity, it's likely that whenever you put this music on that you loved as a teenager, you are going to time travel back to that energy. So while that is good, if you have worked through issues, worked through programming, worked through, shadow reactions that you have had that you built when you were a teenager, it's good for jumping back into that mindset and revisiting for nostalgia. But if you have not worked through those things, every time you put this music on, you are time traveling back to that energy. And it's just going to continue this cycle of negative patterns. But if you make an effort to add new music to your daily life, the way it can transform your thought patterns and energy, it can really only be understood by experiencing it. So just try it out. Ask somebody in your life, somebody new who knows this new version of you is always a good way. The new version of you, the one who they know you now, ask them. Ask them for a musical suggestion. Go onto Spotify and just look up a random playlist outside of your normal listening and just try it. Try it for a couple of weeks and you'll start seeing that it's easier to get out of some of your negative thought patterns, okay? Another one is trying to understand the enemy. Now, a lot of people do not agree that this is a good thing to do, especially if you're someone very opinionated, okay? But if you are searching out social media articles or documentaries, we're all on social media scrolling around every day, okay? So when you're doing that, try and find someone you disagree with and listen to what they are saying without trying to form arguments against it. And while you're doing that with an open mind, ask yourself, what makes them think like that? What experiences could they have had in their life that makes them think like that? How does their brain tick? What points are they trying to get across? You don't need to agree with them, but having this self-questioning process as if it was your point that you were trying to make is a really great way to change your thought pattern. Okay, because if we continue to stay in our own lane, we may well miss an opportunity to learn something new or to change an old opinion and an outdated cycle that we are sick of being in. 5, self-love. Now, this can be as simple as adding a step to your morning routine before you brush your teeth. Looking in the mirror, telling yourself, I love you, every morning, 10 times. Every morning, just tell yourself, just look in the mirror and say, I love you. And really mean them. Really mean those words when you say them to yourself. At the start, you might feel stupid, but really try and mean them, okay? And then maybe add it to your evening routine. Tell yourself, I love you. You did a great job today. Tell yourself that 10 times before you go to bed. There is a huge push for humans to need external validation, to need external love. And the more that we can work on finding that within ourselves, of being able to acknowledge at the end of the day that we did a good job, of being able to acknowledge in the morning that you are loved, the better. You can add whatever words you want to it, but I think it's very important to practice self-love. Now, number 6, being present in your body, okay? So adding into your routine, deep breathing. And I'm not talking, people say meditate. Okay, yes, do that. But not many people have time for that. What I'm talking about is just sitting and taking 10 very aware, deep, slow breaths. It helps us ground into our body. So breath is life for humans. And when we enter this world from the mother, the first thing that we do is take a breath. Breath is the one thing that we cannot go without. We can go days without food, days without water, days without sleep, but a lack of breath and oxygen will kill us within minutes. So breath being so deeply connected to the human experience and being able to pull us back into our body, it's very grounding to be in that place and very aware. And so if you can add 10 deep breaths into your day where you are feeling the oxygen go into your body and feeling it go out and being aware of the parts of your body, it can make us more present in our bodies. And this small change to your routine, making you more present in your body, helps us be able to be more present in our daily life so that we aren't sitting there being focused on what can be or what was. Because if we are not present in our everyday life, we tend to get lost in negative thought patterns of not achieving the goal or things that we've missed out on, or, this friend that I had a fight with, what are they going to say? This friend that I had a fight with, what did they say? But if we are present in that moment for those 10 breaths, we can learn to be present like that in our life and allow people and allow situations to be how they are in their natural state while we are there with them, instead of letting our brains escape to what could be or what was. So that's 6 ways that I use and I have used to transform old thought patterns and to learn how to be more present in my body. So let me know if any of them worked for you, and just pick one. Just pick one. And until you see my face again, stay weird.